Welcome everyone. We're about to react to another game. Now this game is really old. Like this is like 2011 probably. I'm not even sure. 2011 most likely. This is Lost Temple. I actually can't remember if this was a tournament game or a ladder game, but this is me versus Nerchio. And for those who don't know, Nerchio and I had a bit of a rivalry back in Wings. We've literally played probably hundreds of times in tournaments, in online cups, and this is the one game that was really funny and I wanted to show. Now there is some banter, if I remember, in this game, but yeah, we loved or enjoyed making fun of each other and trolling each other, and yeah, so let's get into it. So this is the HD quality. Cannot get more HD than this. It might be tournament, but it might not. I actually don't know. Obviously, this is a casted game from someone, or someone casted it on a YouTube. But yeah. So the reason why I want to show you this game is because of the special tactic I use this game. Special tactic. Yeah. Oh, this was... Oh, so the reason why I'm saying picking Zerg now is because Nerchio used to be a random player. Okay. Yeah, that's so offensive these days. That's right. Saying that is so offensive these days, but back in the day, it was just like, you know, whatever. So Nerchio used to be a random player initially, and then he switched to Zerg, and then he started winning things. His Terran was terrible. His Protoss was terrible. His Zerg was good, and that's why I decided to switch to Zerg. So yeah, for those who don't know, Lost Temple is a map that has, you can see the observers pointing. So in the top left and bottom right corner, there's two islands that you can like float over your command center or drop workers and build a base. Your main base, as you can see, were very close to one another, and this was like one of the macro maps, by the way. But this map was broken for Terran. So you see that position right here. Let me show you. That position above the watchtower right here, you could drop tanks there. So you could put a marine and then you could drop like 10 tanks. And you could do that on the other watchtower as well. So there's 4 spawn points, right? Look at the minimap. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you could spawn like this, like at like 1 o'clock and like 9 o'clock. And if it's a TVT, literally what you do is you would make factories as fast as you can, and you make siege tanks, and you run the siege tanks here and you siege them up. First you research siege mode. Because if you control the watchtower, the opponent cannot leave their natural, because you're literally sieging up the pathway into their natural. And like this map was so abusable and so good for Terran. When you look back at it, and sometimes it makes you wonder, because I feel like the Terran maps were the maps were so Terran favored, they were Terran maps, that I wonder how balanced or imbalanced the game was if it was played on normal maps. Because I mean, you can see this is not even the most imba thing, by the way. So there's an island base, there's this, and there's something else that I'm about to use in this game that was yeah. You'll see. You'll see. Trust me, it is worth every second. Whoa. Nurture you too not. Yikes. He's mad. See, he's still salty. He was salty back then. See that? He's not mad, he's salty. Trust me, this is not one of those overhyping. You have never seen this strategy in your life. You might have been watching StarCraft for 9 years. You have never seen this in your life, not even once. You haven't seen anything close to this in your life, okay? That just gonna say that. Look at this. I'm proxying a barracks at his 3rd gold base. He doesn't see it. What am I doing back in my base? What is that? What is that on production tab? What is that? Huh? What is that? Is that a Ghost Academy? I think so. What is that a factory as well? Wait, why do I need a factory? Huh. Interesting. I wonder what this can be. I wonder what this can be. Huh. Check this out. Like, people are so bad. I'm like supply block. Look, I'm supply blocked in 19. But this was the build. Like, I could have built supply depot like 30 seconds ago. So I think he saw my barracks and observer missed it. He saw my barracks. And he asked map hack, like, am I gonna scout with the barracks? And I was like, yeah. But what am I doing over there, dude? What is that? Is that a tech lab? Do you see that? Do you see? That's a cliff. That's right. That's a cliff above the natural base. Where, by the way, you could put a siege thing here and kill the hatch. Or you could put a Thor, like, up here and attack the hatch with a Thor. Like, this map was so good for Terran. Try this one. Nuke coming in. Ghost coming in. What is it? He's asking, where's your barracks? Because he's like, he's scattered around and it's like nowhere to be found. He has no idea. He doesn't know, boys. He doesn't know. Man, I wish I can go back to these times where everything was new and people sucked at the game and like you try to figure out things and look at that. I love you. Look, he tries to kill the ghost before the new clans. And he loses the Overlord. Oh, and the snipe ability back then was different. It costed 25 energy and it was instant. Look at Nerchio. He's like amazed. He's like... You know, as salty as he was and didn't like me back then, I guarantee he was like, nice. See, using snipe on drones, because the energy only was 25, and I think, if I remember correctly, snipe did 45 damage, and obviously drones have 40 health, so you can one-shot them with snipes. And this is my strategy, by the way. I made this shit. People would usually drop siege tanks, but you know what the thing about siege tanks was? You make siege tanks, and, well, first things first, you would need factory and starport to drop them there. For this, you only float barracks. I mean, yeah, you do need Ghost Academy, but this is the thing about siege tanks. When you drop the siege tank, they would, I remember the meta was they would counter it with mutas. They would go like very fast mutas off of 2 gas, and they would just kill the siege tank. That's it. And then you're kind of screwed as Terran because you got nothing at home, right? Like you can see, my natural is so late. And then the other option was Thor. You could do a Thor drop, which is really powerful. But also Zergs have figured out you can just get roach drops, and you can just drop on top of the Thor and kill it, because you know you're not gonna kill Overlord by the time it drops the roaches, because it didn't have this high impact mode where it does insane single target damage. So yeah, and then I figured if I do ghosts, I'm gonna be able to kill mutas, and if the Zerg tries to drop roaches, I can just snipe the Overlords. So there's no counter. That was my big brain thinking back then. Look at this, sniping the queens. Look, he's trying to give himself vision with the Overlord. And I just keep producing ghosts, because why not? So the third base was, you could take the far away third base, or you could break the gold base and take that as your third. Now the funniest thing is, the reason why this map was so bad for Zerg is not only the cliffs, but if you spawn close to your opponent, so he is right there, And if you spawn on this side, the Zerg can only take the natural. Like, where does the Zerg take the third? So the Zerg will need to take this third, like, from all the way to, like, from the 7 o'clock to, like, 9 o'clock. And then it's, like, super exposed. It was a terrible map for Zerg, but, yeah. So the reason why he made lair on the low ground is so that the base has more health. Because if you lose that base, you're kind of dead anyway. So, yeah. So see, he's like, I'm trying to think how to stop that, because it's like, he probably realizes if he goes mutas, that's not gonna work. And he's going for the drops. That's the Overlord drops back in the day. You had to research eventual sacks, it was called, and the Overlord speed. But I have like 6 ghosts back in my main base, you know, I'm producing units. Obviously I'm poor as hell because I'm making nukes and ghosts of one base, so I don't even have money for siege things. And back then, in Wings, the bases had way more minerals, so you could stay on one base way longer than these days. Like, you don't start mining out as quick as you do these days. Well, just one more nuke, boys. Just one more. So I see the Overlord speed and I'm like, road drop, huh? And I was like, no. I don't know if he tries to drop into my main base. I actually don't remember the ending of this game. But recently when I was reacting to some of my old pro games, I remember this game. And this game is literally, guys, 2011. Like, this is super old. Super, super old. So I made some Marines to prevent Overlords from coming in as well, because I didn't really need more ghosts. Wait, did I actually lose this game? Now I'm starting to doubt. Maybe I lost this game. Look at that. 5 health on lair, by the way. 5 health. Okay, so he goes for the Doom drop. Let's see. Can I defend this? I don't have siege mode, by the way. You need siege mode in order to actually siege up your tanks in Wings of Liberty. I just pulled my boys. I got my boys, dude. It's fine. It's all good. Look how bad I am. Like, I'm not. Look at my SCVs, dude. They're like running around and. But the funny thing is, back in the day, like, that wasn't good play what I just did, but it wasn't like necessarily terrible play. It was just kind of like people were much worse, you know. We just kind of like, oh, where did my SCVs go? What perturbed? Look, I'm making. Do you see that? I'm making missile turrets against drops. Jesus Christ. Look at this. Look, look, look. You can see a turret being placed. It's like so bad. But this is literally, this is 2011, I think. And this is when I was like top 5 GM. And this is how people played, right? And somebody's like, I'm good now, and if I went back in time, I would win turn. No, you wouldn't. You would still get wrecked. Shut up. I play better than this. And the base goes down, baby. The base goes down. With nukes. Now, what did I tell you guys? You've never seen a game like... Look at this, I'm making missile turrets. Because I remember, the train of thought that I had is... I kill the Zerg's main base, so I just need to not take damage. And the way of not taking damage is making missile turrets to prevent drops. Right? That's how I was thinking. Even though I could have made more Marines for that money and position my units better, but, you know, expecting... Look at this debate. Look at this debate. I'm debating him. Do you see that? I put one Marine, and then I put the other Marines back to get him to, like, come to Papa, you know? But, like, looking back at this, I remember playing StarCraft was so much more fun. Maybe it was just because everything was new. But, like, first 3 years of StarCraft for me, when I played games, even pro games, I didn't really feel like, oh man, if I don't do this, I'm dead. But I guess that's because people were much worse as well. Like, you could do so many more things, and because it was Wings, you had much more time to to kind of develop your economy and develop your harassment, which was really cool. This is something that I talked about. Initially, I was very much up for Legacy of the Void economy, but recently I played on Legacy of the Void patch, but you just start with 6 workers, and I have to say, it was way better because the build-up, yes, it was slower, but the transitions from, you know, harassment units to, or first units to harassment units to the army was much greater. So you had more time to do things, which was really, really cool. So I kind of wish that Blizzard tests 6 workers once again, because I think that's really good for gameplay. And it's something that I didn't think that was the case until I tried it. And then I was like, this is pretty cool, actually. Okay, so now I was building up marine count there as well as ghosts. So now I'm doing the drop. Big brain plays, I told you guys. I don't even have cloak, dude. It just goes pew-pewing. You know. Man, I miss the old snipe. When the ghosts were good. Look, I'm sitting on the ramp. 1000 IQ, so that I can't get surrounded. Look at that. I mean, I can, but not really, right? Kinda, but not really. Look at the drones. Do you see the snipes? Do you see the old snipes? Again, they only dealt 45 damage, but look at the snipes. Isn't that so much cooler? Look at this. Has left the game. Man. Those were the times, boys. I'm telling you. If you haven't been there, if you haven't lived through it, you don't know what you missed. The good old days. You know, I never understood when people say the good old days until StarCraft II. The good old days. That was a good one. Okay, for you guys watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you want to see more, let me know, or maybe even link the games you would like me to react to. But that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. For you guys on Twitch, let's keep going.